What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker here with Cotton Row. It's a Sunday afternoon, 1:20 p.m. It is Quarantine Corona Cast Day 3, and today we have a live guest. I want to introduce a good friend of mine and somebody who's been an idea guy for me. We bounce ideas off each other all the time. Content creation king, real estate photo taker extraordinaire, the one, the only Pixel Joe Bullock. What's going on, Joe? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing great. How about yourself?
Man, I am living my best life. Living my best life here in the quarantine zone. After I told you I was going to record, I forgot to hit the record button, just in case you're wondering. So that was cool. No, look, how you been, Joe? I mean, you seem like you're, excited to be here for one. But
I'm glad that everybody is now going virtual. I don't have to explain the reason behind going virtual anymore. And I think it's going to help out, videographers and photographers around the world. So,
well, certainly one of the professions or industries being hit hard by this is the photography, video. I mean, anything to do with getting together, being in a one-on-one kind of environment, right? So, go ahead.
In a way.
What do you mean?
Well, a lot of events and stuff like that are being canceled, of course. So those people that specifically just do those, or even some real estate, but I've noticed a lot of photography and video jobs have now picked up simply because clients don't want to go out to meet people at homes, and stuff like that, and we can come and film it. You can show listings, you can show off your products, you can show off your services, all virtually.
Yeah, and that's
I think it's basically people are picking up on the fact that video is more important now than it ever has been. No,
that's exactly right. And one of the things we wanted to talk about today is, you and I while I would certainly not consider myself an expert by any stretch, I do feel like you and I have been able to establish a pretty good live streaming, way to reach consumers. And so here's the reality. I guess I'm not a silver linings guy. That's not really who I am. But I do feel like this is forcing people to realize there are ways to communicate with clients that are different than maybe they expected, or different than they've used in the past. Here's Thom Rigsby joining in. Tom says, "Hey guys, what's going on?" Tom, what's going on with you, buddy? What's going on with you? Tom is a guy that is an expert. I would call him an expert, Joe. And if you don't know Tom, consider this an introduction. But Tom started a group that we are now we're live in the group right now, and it's small business owners coming together to combat this COVID-19 and this crisis. And so one of the things I wanted to get your input on, Joe, while we're here today live is, like, you and I both have studios set up. I've got a couple of them. You've got a couple of them. Let's talk through some basics. Like, I realize that live streaming like this, I've got a producer right here who is doing a lot of the stuff on the back end, and you've got lots of equipment. I've got lots of equipment. But for the basic person, for the person that's right now sitting at home saying, "Man, I run a small business. I don't know how I'm going to make payroll. I might have to lay my people off." Whatever the case is, let's talk through how do you get started in live streaming?
Well, one, you simply need a webcam and some sort of microphone. And, of course, if you have a Mac, you can use Ecamm Live, which is I want to say that they have a 14-day free trial.
They do. Go ahead. Yeah, there we go. So there's Ecamm Live. So I was one of the original Ecamm Livers that got it back when it was a single license. You paid one time and you got a lifetime license, and then they very quickly moved to a subscription service and offered some additional benefits that have been huge for us. But this software, for like whatever it is, $10 a month, $14 a month, whatever the price is, it gives you the ability to do. This is what we're using right now, guys. It's all the I mean, multi cameras, 2 cameras. I mean, I've got a live Skype interview coming in, and right now, if Thom Rigsby wanted to call me and chime in on this, I could actually add him to the conversation as well. And so it's a hugely powerful platform that I think is something I just wanted to share with everybody. You know, it's a huge benefit to be. And look, I'm computer illiterate. Don't let what we do on here like fool you. I have really smart people that help me out. I figured it out. And so, you know, a webcam, or most of you with a laptop, you have a webcam built in. And so it's super easy to start streaming, right?
Right.
So what do you give me your top 5 like tips on live streaming? Because you call me all the time like, hey man, do you do a watch party when you go live? And I'm like, well, I've never done a watch party, Joe. What's a watch party? And you're like, man, you get so many more viewers. And I'm like, yeah, and so we bounce ideas off each other all the time. Give me your top 5 tips for business owners right now who are shut down and they're trying to connect with their consumers. If they can get live streaming, what are the top 5 tips in terms of what you would tell them to do to be the most impactful?
Okay. One, of course, talk to your audience. That's one of the biggest things. You know, people comment and they want to hear their names being shout out, all that good stuff. And ask questions. Ask questions to your audience. Talk to them. You know, let them know that you are able to see them. I would say the second thing is to do a test. Of course, do a test run beforehand. A lot of people don't realize that you can change the privacy.
Oh, yeah.
And you can do tests via live and be, you know, only to where you can see it. So that, you know, if the sound is bad or if the videos are bad, you can test it out. You can figure out any errors and stuff beforehand. Because bad video and bad audio it's just people won't listen if you've got
that's my biggest pet peeve in the world, and I want everyone out there to listen to this. People will watch terrible video with great audio, but they will not watch 4K beautiful footage with awful audio. Audio is the most important thing, and the cool thing is there's a couple really neat ways to create to kind of hack that and get super clear audio without having to spend a fortune. Obviously, we've invested a pretty good amount of money in these microphones we've got that provide us with a professional level of audio. But my AirPods do the exact same thing. They do the exact same thing. And so, you know, let's back it up a step, and let's say Ecamm Live in a studio setup is not something that you want to invest your money in. Like, that's okay. Use your iPhone. Go live from your iPhone and go live from your iPad. I mean, there are apps out there that will do the same thing with your portable devices, and then your AirPods, or even the headphones that come with the phone have a built-in microphone, and the audio is crystal clear. And so, you know, that's one thing. What about the time of day? What about, like, you know, right now it's a little bit different. And you can cite study after study after algorithmic study on kind of what time of day, what day of the week, when do you post? But this is so different because everybody's home right now. So traditionally, though, when do you find your hot times to release great content?
Mainly you want to think about those jobs that you had whenever you checked Facebook. So you're talking about 3:00. Typically people will go into work, they'll get their emails done, they'll go down their list, they'll call clients, they'll do their bookings and all that stuff. And around 2 or 3 o'clock is a main good time to actually go live, because a lot of people will be logging in. And then I want to say closer to 8 or 9 p.m. at night, because, you know, people will come home, they'll do their nightly chores, and then they'll be laying in bed around 8 or 9, and that's when they're on their phones. So you just want to think about the times that you're on your phone and go live then.
No, that's exactly right. I'll tell you this, statistically speaking, and I think Thom Rigsby is going to join us here in a moment and give us some of his some of his insights. I've sent him my phone number in a private message, and so we will test out this here equipment that we're bragging on. This is something a live stream with a Skype guest and a live phone call. So we'll see how this works out. It's probably a train wreck waiting to happen, but hey. We're nothing if not brave to try things, right? So, but statistically speaking, Wednesday at 3:00 is the most impactful time of the week for social media, and I find that interesting because it makes sense to me because it's hump day. It's the end of the workday. You're about to go home. Hump day, and when you walk out the door Thursday afternoon, I mean, you're on the downside of the weekend. Yeah. And so, but there's been a lot of time and effort and studies that have gone into that, and you can do whatever, you could put it whatever.
Wednesday is the day you start looking to socialize, and a lot of people will get on Facebook due to that reason, or Twitter or Instagram.
No, that's right. And so my business is mostly real estate based, and so I can, I'll speak to a lot of the impacts that we can have there, certainly, but this goes across the board. But in the real estate investing side, which is really where we hang our hat, we're trying to reach property owners, we're trying to reach buyers, we're trying to reach real estate agents. I'm no longer a real estate agent, but I spent 2 years in that industry, being very successful, solely using content creation. At one point, we were averaging 100,000 engagements a week on both the Bearded Realtor page and the page for the company that I created and sold last month, and that being Revolve Realty. And Tim Knox has that now and is doing a great job with that. And so I'm excited to watch that brand that I was able to start. So it feels like so many years ago, kind of take off. But the main vehicle of marketing is content creation. And so, you've got to create ways to engage people for what specific niche you're in. Hold on a minute. We've got a call coming in here. Let's see here. Tom, are you there? Oh, hold on, Tom. What about now? Hey, there he is. Joe, can you hear Tom?
I sure can.
So, Tom, thanks for joining us, man.
Oh, yeah, man. My pleasure. Glad to be here.
So you chimed in a moment ago and said you love Ecamm. So I just out of curiosity, have you messed with other live streaming softwares, or was that kind of where you started?
I tried a couple. I tried OBS on all three platforms. I tried I think it's called Blue Jeans. I use Zoom a lot, and Zoom has the ability to broadcast also.
Does it really?
But for me, for me, because I'm a Mac guy, Ecamm was the way to go. Love it. Use it every day.
Now, how simple? I mean, people always ask, like when we're doing. I mean, right now I've got Joe on a Skype call, and then you're on a phone call. And now, fortunately, I have a piece of equipment called it's a Rodecaster. It's a podcast piece of equipment that has Bluetooth capabilities, and it serves as my audio hub for all the different things that are coming into this stream. So I'm able to connect to my phone to this computer, this soundboard. But as far as the simplicity of Ecamm goes, I was absolutely shocked to see how, because I am not a smart man, never claimed to be, and it was so easy for me to kind of get started and work through graphics and all that. So kind of speak to the level of experience one would need with live streaming, because I think right now, Tom, and I notice your purpose right now, and it's incredible to watch. You and I, believe it or not, Tom and I've never spoken before except for on Facebook. We watch one another as business owners and marketers and branders, and so this is actually our first time talking. So, Tom, it's a pleasure to meet you. But speak to that level of experience for the newbies out there. Ecamm's not a scary platform.
No, actually, it's very point. Here's what I really like about Ecamm. It's very point and click friendly, but if you want to do advanced things, it has the ability to do that. And you were mentioning a few minutes ago how long you've been using it. I think we probably picked it up about the same time, because I paid once, and I've even petitioned them and kind of proven my mettle with them, and they've put me in the beta program. So I get updates. I'm on the bleeding edge, as they say, of what's going on in eCamp. But really, if you got a webcam, and when I started doing interviews and pulling people in via Skype and that sort of thing, it's just, hey, look, there's a new camera. Skype shows up as a camera, and shift click, and now you've got split screen. And I know people that have paid a lot of money for TriCasters and hardware like that to be able to do that sort of thing. So, for the price, I just don't think you can beat it.
So I agree with you there. And Joe is actually, he's relatively new to the eCam world. He was asking me, hey man, what are you using? What are you using? What are you using? And finally converted him to eCam probably a couple months ago. And so we all use the same platform. But Tom, before we let you go here, give me kind of talk me through your opinion on this social media, using webs, live streaming and webcams and that kind of thing. How is it different today with the coronavirus doing what it's doing to our economy than it was maybe 3 weeks ago?
Well, I tell you that the thing to me is, I had a long conversation in our Facebook group about this morning. Right now, what we need to be doing while we are still on the upside of this curve, we need to be working on building, deepening, strengthening relationships. And, the trite thing for a long time has been that, word of mouth marketing is the best marketing you can do. Well, social is just word of mouth by other means.
That's right.
So anything we can do to create value for the people that we're connected to, right? Right now, we're all in this together. 3 months from now, we're going to be right back to where we were before, right? And so it's the people who were here creating value for me when I needed value that I'm going to remember, because we have that shared experience. That's one of the great things about being on a team. If you've ever, been in the service, the people that you worked with, you have these shared experiences to draw on. And right now, as business owners, if we just retreat into our own home and say, well, there's nothing really I can do, we'll just, see what happens when things get back to normal, you're missing the opportunity to build that shared experience with the people who are going to help you resurrect your business on the other side of this hump. So,
and resurrect is such a good word, because there are lots of businesses, Joe and I've been talking about it a lot the last couple of days privately, but there are a lot of businesses that will need to be resurrected. And I'll tell you, our retail stores are only a part of our kind of brand ecosystem, but it's going to be very difficult for us on that side of it. And there are people who are potentially going to have to go without pay because there's no one shopping. And so we've pivoted. And I think, Tom, you and I are going to get together maybe tomorrow and do a live stream, probably kind of on pivoting, maybe how to pivot, how to be nimble and athletic in an ever-changing market. Because look, if it's not the coronavirus, it's going to be something else. But the best entrepreneurs are the ones who can pivot well and quickly. And just like we're talking about today, pivoting straight to content creation. For those of you who've never done it before, it seems like a freaking mountain. But we're here trying to kind of share some resources with you that will allow you to pivot to that quickly. But I look forward, Tom, to maybe getting together with you tomorrow, and we'll talk about how to be athletic and pivot in this time. But you got anything else for us? Any great wisdom before we let you go?
Yeah, let me just share one thing. I struggled for a long time being unhappy with my setup. I didn't have the right background. I didn't have the right camera. The camera wasn't good enough. The software wasn't good enough. And it took a long time for me to kind of get beyond that. So one of the best encouragements I can give people about content creation now, and you guys were just talking about this right before I hopped on. If you look at some of the stuff that's on YouTube today, it's not that great. So the bar is not that high, right? Create value. Worry more about creating value than whether you've got the blurred bokeh effect in the background. Nobody cares about that. If you give them something of value, that's what they're going to remember. Strive to be a person of value, and that's how you're going to find success.
No, that's exactly right. And that's in all, I mean, that's such, there's such wisdom in that because and again, and Tom, thanks for joining us. We'll talk soon. I'll catch you tomorrow for a stream. But Joe, one of the things that he said there that is so instrumental, I think, is going to be a silver lining, which again, I'm not a silver lining guy, but we are all going to have to learn something right now to make it. If you're going to make it, you're going to have to get smart. You're going to have to learn how to add value. And adding value right now is a very difficult thing to maybe do because it doesn't, like, you can't see people, you can't touch people, they can't come to your store, you can't take appointments, you can't. So, I mean, talk about that, Joe. How are you adding value to your customers? Now, you're a videographer, a photographer, so it's going to be a lot different.
So I had to adjust. Like any entrepreneur right now, you know, a lot of them are struggling and they're saying that I don't know what to do. But the best thing to do is sit down, figure out how you can actually work in this time of chaos. I had events cancel. I had realtors cancel on me. I had a few other just video commercials and stuff cancel. But I adjusted. I figured out what I needed to do, and now I'm helping people out with live streams. I'm helping, you know, do certain things, even with videos and stuff like that. People can record stuff and send it to me, and then I can edit it.
That's huge. That's huge right there. And
so there's a lot of different things that, you know, at first I was freaking out. You know, I had 7 events cancel on me, and it was making me nervous and kind of sick to my stomach because I was like, you know, I'm gonna have to get a desk job. And my friend Brandon, he just sat me down and said, "Dude, you've just got to find a way to work this thing."
No, that's exactly right.
Use it towards your advantage and not to hurt your business. He was like, if you keep focusing on what you're not getting, then you're never going to get anywhere. And that was some great advice, because then I sat down and I said, I have all the tools for people to reach an audience virtually.
That's exactly right. And that's something I wanted to talk about, and kind of where we, you know, the genesis of this live stream kind of came from a post that I saw you make the other day, and you were the first one to pivot and go this way, which I loved. I mean, you tend to kind of lead the way a lot with creation. You and I, again, I guess the way we kind of, our relationship is built around being creative together and bouncing ideas off one another. But I saw very quickly after this started, you said, hey, business owners, if you need to connect with your people at home, like, I've got the studio, I can bring it to you, you can come to me, right. Whatever. And so let's talk about that for a minute, because I wanted to offer the same thing. And this specifically into the group that Thom Rigsby, who he just spoke with, he started this group for small businesses and how they're needing help in this time.
Right.
I realize that money is going to be difficult, but again, we're just pivoting and investing. I have a studio. Joe has a studio. I'm in Athens. He's in Huntsville. So we're on both sides. If you are a small business owner and you don't have any idea how to do this, I can't speak for Joe. I'll tell you that I'll bring you into my studio and give you a session and show you I'll for free one time. I'll show you how to do it once. If you want to go and acquire the things to take that home and do it there, great. If you want to use our studio, Connor, our producer, would be more than happy to sit down with you and discuss, you know, rates for us producing. And I know Joe would do the same thing in Huntsville. And also, our studios are mobile. I can pack this whole thing up. Now, it's a pain, but if I turned the camera around, you would see on the other side we've got a whole secondary setup that we can throw in a box and take anywhere. So we can come to you as well. And so that's one thing where I really wanted to add value for the businesses out there that don't know how in the world can I connect to these people? How can I get out there in the world? Well, hey, let us help you. And you come to my office is sanitized, sanitary, sanitization is key, right? There's no public coming in and out. It's just our team. I'd be more than happy to have you come in for 30 minutes. Let me sit you down, show you how everything works, show you the most stripped down way to go live from your house. And I've even got equipment that I would loan you to do that, to make sure you wanted to. This is Joe's business. So if you're in Huntsville and you need a place to start connecting with people, Joe would, I know Joe would be more than happy to come up with terms and a rate that is fair. And look, two guys in business together trying to figure out a way to make it profitable for everybody, right? And so, that's something that's huge, because again, to set it up like we've set it up, it's in the 5 digits in terms of a budget, right? And so that's not attainable for everybody. But a Logitech Brio and a Blue Yeti microphone is going to set you back $200 on the big end, if not a 1080 camera, like just a regular old Logitech webcam for what, $29.99, and a Yeti microphone for $100, and you're in it for $125. And now from your house, you can immediately start reaching people in real time during this quarantine period. And so we would be more than happy to. Again, I'm on Lindsay Lane here in Athens. Joe's in Huntsville. Joe, where's your office space? You just got an office space, didn't you?
I do not yet.
Oh, okay. You were working on it at one point.
I'm actually still at the good old home studio.
No.
So I'm just here,
Joe has a beautiful home. He'll welcome you into his beautiful home.
Using my beautiful green screen backdrop as a.
What's a green screen, Joe? What does that mean? How does that work?
Magical tool that basically it keys out anything that is green.
Why don't you show the people how that works? Give us a little virtual tour. Run us through a handful of different. We were talking to Joe. Now Joe's at his house. He's in his office. Oh, he's in a cave. He's in a cave. This is
actually a castle.
Joe's in his castle. You're an
this
idiot.
One's a colorful shelf.
Wow, with a rooster.
That's nice.
You're looking at. He's looking at green. In case you're.
I looked the wrong way. So
it's a rooster. No,
I feel like I need to get a weather map up here.
No, yeah, or a Corona map.
Yeah.
Help people find their limes. Kidding, totally kidding.
Another thing,
hit me.
Another thing that people don't realize, that during live videos is like, you've got to have stable footage. Put it on a tripod. Use a gimbal. There are a ton of phone gimbals out there. You can go to Apple, Best Buy, or even, I think, Electronic Express. You can get your webcam there. You can get your Yeti mics. And on top of that, you can get phone gimbals. So, if you're going to be walking around giving home tours and stuff like that, or, simply walking around downtown, or even going out for a jog, get a gimbal.
Please, for the love of God, get a gimbal.
Don't, because when people are doing that stuff and they're trying to talk to you and then they're trying to flip the camera and stuff like that, those gimbals actually, there's a button that you can push and it will flip the camera for you, so you're not tapping and punching the screen and stuff like that.
I did a live stream the other day because my GoPros have been giving me a fit. Going live from a GoPro seems to be like the most difficult thing in the world for me. But I ended up fed up with it, and so I just grabbed my phone, and I was driving, and I did a very quick, like a 45 or 60-second just live stream in between leaving here and going to our retail location. And when I got there and played it back, I was like, I think I'm going to get car sick just from watching this. And it was one of those things where out of necessity, I just did it. But, man, it's so much better to have a gimbal. And you can get them so cheap now, like you said, at those different places. But, all right, look, we've got a few minutes left. I want to talk about a couple things, coronavirus-related, people-related. But before we do that, we've added a member to our team here that is – taken us from the little leagues to the big leagues. And so I want to introduce Connor Higgins to everybody. Connor, go ahead and what's up? Say hello, Connor.
Hello, everybody.
Connor is our media guy, as his lower third so eloquently says. But what he really is he's our producer. He's our video editor. He's our he's a high school student that has a passion for this. Thanks, Connor. So I really appreciate what you're doing for us, man. But Connor does a ton, and so again, another resource here in Athens for you guys. Connor, again, he's in high school. He is a local student here. And this is something he has a great passion for and he's very talented at. And I know that he would love to help you as well, kind of as you navigate through these times. So, just wanted to, introduce him to the world because he was terribly nervous and didn't want to get on camera. And so I said, you're getting on camera today. Today's the day. He's like, but I don't need a microphone. So I shoved a microphone in his face and made him say a couple words. But look, at the end of the day, this virus is, I've said it, Joe, I don't know if you've seen the live stream I've done the last couple of days, but I keep calling it a ground zero. How old are you, Joe?
I am 29.
29. So you're a few years. So 9/11, you would have been in like 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So you were old enough to like understand.
Oh, goodness. I think I was in 4th grade.
No, you weren't, because I was in 9th grade, and I'm only 3 years older than you.
I want to say that I was in 4th or 5th grade.
How old were you in 2001?
I got held back a year, so because I'm,
He's a slow,
just so smart,
slow starter. Okay, let's not get derailed. But it was a ground zero kind of a thing that rallied a country, unified Americans, and created this cool patriotic kind of. Now it didn't last long, and that's a shame, but it was this unifying of people. And I want to show you an article I saw the other day on Bear Grylls' Instagram. It's all the papers in England, and how they all went united, and they said, when you're on your own, we are there with you. And every single newspaper in town, and I hope you're seeing that, Joe, I should have sent it to you beforehand, but every single newspaper put out the exact same front page, and it was this really cool moment of like all these competitive businesses coming together and saying, look, guys, this is at this point, it's not about making money. It's about sustaining and making it, just surviving. It becomes survival is what it becomes. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to accomplish. And that's why when I text Joe, today and just said, I just said, hey man, want to live stream today? And he just said, yes. And I said, well, you want to talk about this, then this and this? Yes. The answer was yes. It was just yes, because we understand that you guys need a lot of the information that we have, one, but two, we understand that we have to get out in front of you, and you have to see us and hear from us as business owners to stay relevant right now. Because guess what? I saw more churches live streaming this morning on Facebook than I've ever seen in my entire life. Every churches to businesses to schools to everything, they're shifting so quickly to this live streaming platform that if you're a business owner and you're not doing this, you will get left behind in this pandemic. This coronavirus thing is, and so this is our effort at putting our front pages out there and saying, hey, look, like, we're going to stand with you on this. And we understand even somebody who's in a competitive business, to me, I want to see small businesses flourish. And so I mean it. My offer stands. If you are a small business owner and you live in the North Alabama area and you need a studio to learn how to live stream while craziness is going on, I will not charge you anything to come up here and one time show you how to do it, show you what to get, show you how to get it. I've even got an extra webcam that I could send with you, whatever. And then if it's something you want to continue to do, I mean, certainly, we can work out something. And Joe, this is more about you than it is about me. This is not my business. This is what I use for business, but you're more the authority here. Yeah. Joe would love to help you. Joe, well, how can the people reach you?
Well, honestly, there's you can call me at 256-714-0622. You can also add me on Skype at pixeljoesphotography@gmail.com. And we can do this virtually, just like me and you were doing.
That's right.
Anybody can literally add me on Skype. I can go live and bring you in. I've got a ton of Facebook friends, and I would love to share my audience with anybody that I possibly can right now. I'm doing that absolutely free. Just because I know that this is a struggling time, and I feel that what is it? No good deed goes undone, or something like that.
Yeah, close enough.
I don't know if that's how you say it, but
no, I don't think that's what you were looking for, because I think it's no good deed goes unpunished. But I don't think that's the sentiment that you were looking for there. But certainly. There.
Okay. I don't know what I was thinking.
Connor just earned his pay. That was clutch right there. This is so much fun having somebody on the computer, by the way, because usually I'm trying to have to produce this at the same time that we're doing this, like you do for Pixelcast. Let me tell you something. Having somebody over there that knows more than you do about the whole thing, like, dude, he walked in, had never used Ecamm a day in his life, and within 5 minutes was teaching me how to do stuff. It was absolutely irritating and awesome all at the same time.
Yeah.
But no, what you were saying, it stands, dude. I mean, it's all about. I think what you were looking for maybe is like a rising tide lifts all boats. How about that one?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to help people out. You know,
That's right.
I know that they're struggling. I know that people are losing jobs. I know that restaurants are having a tough time, and breweries and bars and all that stuff. And I want people, you know, if they've found their way around this COVID-19, I want them to share it on my Facebook as well as their own, and I want them to do it, you know, virtually from the comfort of their home. They don't have to, you know, meet with me and all that stuff. I know that some people are canceling because they're even afraid of me, you know, coming in
I'm
and
afraid
stuff
of you,
like
Joe.
that. You know, they're just they're so scared of social contact.
And
right
look,
now.
Thom Rigsby with a comment. He created this incredible Facebook group, which is I think we're live in that group right now. I tried to share it to the group, whether it worked or not, I'm unsure. But go visit this Facebook group. It's Small Businesses Fight COVID-19 or the novel coronavirus, and there's a tremendous amount of resources. Thom, you know what I admire about Thom, and again, I don't know Thom all that well. In fact, today was the first time we ever spoke. But as a business owner, watching Thom from the outside looking in, his dedication and commitment to content creation is unparalleled. Like it's a grind, Joe. You know how big of a grind it is to freaking commit to content every day and doing it. And we did it for a long time. It was extremely successful, and then I fell off the map for like 6 months, dude, because it wears you out.
Everybody.
And Thom he's a machine, and so he created this group, and it has resources. There's a lot of people in there providing their whatever it is, their service, their resources for free, or for a reduced fee, whatever it is. I mean, we in this time right now, it's really not the time to ask for free, if we're being honest, because everybody is being pinched and kind of restricted. But at the same time, those of us who have the ability, there are certain things that we can offer for free that we are certainly going to do so to make more small businesses prepared and maybe flexible enough to make it through this. At the end of the day, that's what we're hoping for. The only thing that's more certain than death and taxes are markets. They are cyclical in every situation. There's never been a market that wasn't cyclical, right? And so this market will come back. It will cycle back. That's what cyclical means. And so when it does, I believe it's going to cycle back with a vengeance, because there's going to be so much pent-up demand. I think the president called it, it was pent-up demand or something. He had some crazy guy, Donald Trump, crazy guy. But anyways, there's going to be a huge response from this. And when it happens, everybody needs to be ready. And now what we need to be doing, like Thom said earlier in our interview, was adding value to their lives. Today, our goal, what Joe and I wanted to do, was add value to you as a small business owner. And Joe has some parting words right before, here before we'll conclude, and then I'll say a few things to end it. But guys, we hope today that you heard something of value, or that one or two, that you'll take us up on our offers. You can reach me at 256-724-0695 or private message us on Facebook, any of the Cotton Row pages, or the Bearded REI page, which is it's hopefully being rebranded very soon. I've asked Facebook for that change to Bearded Branding and Marketing with Zach Walker. But Joe, I mean, before we conclude, man, give us your number one tip right now for small businesses trying to make it through this thing.
One, reach out to your competitors. A lot of them are also struggling. Reach out to your competitors and see what they're doing and offer a hand. I'm in a photo booth network, and there's a lot of competition that goes on in there. But right now, it's just nothing but love. Photo booth props are, discounted and all that good stuff, and there's a lot of like people making posts on, jobs and stuff that they have, or, they're just helping each other out. And so as of right now, I would recommend going live, figure it out, go virtual, do some video, and reach out to your competitors.
I like that. I like that a lot. Honestly, I do. I didn't expect you to say that, but it makes a tremendous amount of sense. And so as we close today, guys, I just want to give you a couple things. I mean, look, at the end of the day, this thing is going to it's not going to last forever. Okay, it's not going to last forever. It's going to slow down. It's going to get better. It's going to be okay. I promise you that. There's no doubt in my mind. This is going to be okay. Second of all, from the numbers I've seen quickly, I feel like yesterday the actual curve went down a little bit. On one of the things, I know there's a lot of misinformation, but I truly believe we're a whole lot closer to a normalizing kind of an experience than you think we are. But even if we're not, we are prepared for this. Joe, we can help people be prepared for this, and we want to. And so if you walk away with anything today, walk away with this. Reach out to Joe or I. If you don't want to reach out to your competitors, that's fine. If you don't want to reach out to anybody but Joe or I or Tom, great, do it. Let's see how we can help you. Again, this is not a sales pitch. This is not us trying to make money. This is us just trying to share some knowledge that was very frustrating for us to learn, by the way, because it takes a lot of time and money to filter through all the nonsense it takes to live stream and do all this stuff. So again, let our experience be your education. Joe, as always, my friend, it has been a great pleasure discussing with you, and we will need to we'll do this we'll do this more often, and maybe you'll have maybe you'll use that big fancy camera you've got over there so it's not all crazy looking. But guys, for now, we're out. We'll see you guys soon. Talk to you guys tomorrow, but have a great Sunday. Enjoy the time with your family. Again, be present. Be present in the quarantine. Take this time to be still and know that I am God, as the Bible says. Guys, we love you guys. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right?